on the corner, waiting for the light to turn green.
Can I go now? Cross over? Will the world stop just for me?
You wanna make a difference, but you don't know how. Take the time and break away from all your nasty doubts. The world is starting for your laughter, yearning for your love. Your love, you got to live it like you never lived before. Love it like you want it more and more. Be you, that's what you're here for. You're more than enough, more than enough.
Take one step and another. Nothing's got nothing on you.
Leave all your doubts. You're stronger than those shadows that make you blue. Stand up, you'll be the difference now that you can see. Celebrate, shout out, I'm happy just to be me. Now fill your world with light. Hi, this is Frank Copolla. Very happy to be back. It's really good to be talking to you. Today is a very special day for us. As you know, 9/11 happened the beginning of September. It affected me greatly, as it affected everyone. And I wanted to tell you that I've created a tribute. We Rise Again. It's a video and music tribute to 9/11 and to you. I'll explain to you why. Rise Again is dedicated to all the fallen heroes, first responders, and all those affected by the tragedy of 9/11, and to those who struggle now and forever. Our goal is to have the video go global and touch 1 million people over the next year. So why did I write and perform We Rise Again? Well, I lost a cousin, John Sherry, as well as 23 people that I knew personally while working at Cantor Fitzgerald. But the good news is, since the video and the song were released last Friday, Friday, September 10th, 2021, less than 2 weeks ago, it's reached Japan, China, Vietnam, Spain, Portugal, Ireland, Russia, Belgium, France, Italy, and Brazil, and throughout the United States and Canada, by people sharing. So I'm going to invite you to please join in and share. In addition, the video and the song are about you and about inspiration and resilience. I realized that it's about humanity. How, when we are at our lowest, when we hit the wall and we want to give up, remember, we rise again. And this has been the experience of people reporting back to me. So I want you to please pass along to friends, associates, and family, and kindly ask them to do the same. Pass it along. It's important to share. For all those people that want to do that, please contact me at frank@addcoachinggroup.com. And I will send you an invitation. And on that invitation will be a video as well as the song. So I wish you love and happiness. Philip, would you play that, please? It was a sad song we woke up to. It was the blues of breaking news. Every channel and newspaper page. In the blink of an eye, the whole world changed. So many souls went home that day to a better place. We prayed. Our hearts may break, but our will won't bend. We
may fall, but we always rise again. We rise again. In the end, we always rise again. We rise again. In the end, we always rise again. Our hearts may break, but our will won't bend. In the end, we always rise again. A cowardly attack aimed at the heart, then we show them who we really are. Heroes rushed in, there were lives to save. Fear never rules the land of the brave. In anger, we didn't turn to hate. We kept ideals that made us great. Our hearts may break, but our will won't bend. We may fall, but we always rise again. We rise again. In the end, we always rise again. We rise again. In the end, we always rise again. Our hearts may break, but our will won't bend. In the end, we always rise again. High above these concrete canyons, we rise above misunderstandings. High above the purple mountain. We rise above haters shouting. High above the sky so clear. We rise above all hate and fear. Above all hate and fear. We rise again. In the end, we always rise again. We rise again. In the end, we always rise again. Rise again. In the end, we always rise again. Rise again. In the end, we always rise again. Rise again. In the end.
That's it. We rise again. It's a tribute to 9/11, but it's also a tribute to you. Remember this if you ever get down in the blues. This is truly something that I created for all of us, and primarily for those other people. If you want to see this and contact me, you can do it at Frank Copolla at addcoachinggroup.com. But also, if you go to YouTube and you put in We Rise Again, Frank Copolla, Coppola, you'll be able to see it there. So I wish we could talk about this more. If you had some questions that would be, I could answer, that's fine too. And I love the fact that people jumped in right away. And within a short amount of time, the song has gone around the world. And again, I have a goal of having it hit 1 million people before the next 9/11. See, that's the interesting thing about this. 20 years ago, we had this. But for all of us, we can remember exactly where we were when that happened. And we continue to remember because 20 years later, it feels like the same. It never really disappeared. So I want to thank you and tell you how much I appreciate you listening, and I look forward to talking to you in the future. What I'd like to talk about today is something I think is important. I am, besides the president of the ADD coaching group, I also have created the Fearless Entrepreneur. I'm the chief creativity officer of that. And I believe all of us, as we move forward in business, get frightened at times. And we want to step up and be fearless, to be able to break through and move to whatever it is that they're going for, whatever the vision is, whatever the goal is, whatever the mission is, etc. So I've created, it's called the 10 Essentials of a Fearless Entrepreneur. And I'm going to present this now. I need to share the screen, so pardon me while I do this. Okay, so again, the Fearless Entrepreneur, 10 Essentials of a Fearless Entrepreneur. So if you can remember this, this will keep you in touch, at least understand what your business should be running and how it should be run. So again, the number one essential for a fearless entrepreneur is trust. Without trust, one doesn't have a business. And a fearless entrepreneur keeps their promises, because people who don't keep their promises, over time, you won't trust them. And if you don't trust them, you won't do business with them. So too, it's the other way. If you break your promises with people, they won't trust you. You're going to set a standard for others to follow. You're going to be able to stand there and have people say, you know what? These are good people. I trust them. They say they're going to do something, and then they deliver on it. I want to work with these people. A fearless entrepreneur is a leader. A leader is passionate about the beliefs, passionate about their business. And when you are passionate about that, nothing will stand in your way. I remember, it just so happened, I'll just talk music. I was in the midst of creating a song, and I brought in these musicians, and they kept on saying, the song was good enough. The song was good enough. And I kept on saying, it isn't. I hear something in my head. It's not good enough. And we're going to get that, which we did. And the song that was on before, You More Than Enough, that was the song. So a fearless entrepreneur works in collaboration with others. A fearless entrepreneur understands the value of 1 + 1 = 11. You don't reach your goals alone, because if you do, it's impossible, practically impossible. So connecting with others allows you to multiply your time, energy, and the commitment to succeed. We Rise Again had about 11 people that all participated to create that. I have to acknowledge Peter Milrose, who's the producer. I have to acknowledge Ron Forster, who was the photographer and the videographer. And of course, Michael Richmond and Delwyn Gonzalez. And Delwyn and myself wrote the lyrics, and a whole slew of people that came in and sang. So that video was not just one person. It was bringing all that energy together. to create what was created, which I believe is really going to stand the test of time. An entrepreneur empowers. They have empowerment. They understand the ability that team builds a business, similar to 1 + 1 = 11. And a leader encourages and empowers others to do their best to accomplish the vision, the mission, the goals of a company. So again, I'll go back to the song. I had a vision of what that should be. I was able to communicate that to other people. And then I stood out of the way. I let other people do what they do best. So the producer, who happened to be the arranger, I did not get in the way. I gave them complete ability to make decisions on their own. Same thing with the photographer, and same thing with the various people that participated here. The fearless entrepreneur has communication skills. They're able to articulate what's needed according to the needs of the clients and the company. There's so many companies out there that spend their time telling the client what the client needs, as opposed to listening to what the client is asking for. That takes a communication skill. And it takes the ability to listen for anything that gets in the way, what we call a breakdown in communication and a breakdown in prioritizing what the customer needs. Business is about customers. Business is about gaining customers, keeping customers, and then having those customers come back. If they don't come back, then it's going to be a little tough to build a business, because you're going to be out there constantly looking for more business. Tiring. Now, in business, you have a mission, you have a vision, and you have goals. What you're attempting to do is create a vision. Now, a company leader has the vision, and then they're able to articulate what the mission, what is it that the mission is going to bring the vision. So the leader will give to managers missions. What is it they have to accomplish? And what is it that they have to accomplish? They have to accomplish goals. The goals feed into the mission. The mission feeds into the owner. So you need a mission statement. It's intended to clarify the what and the who of a company. What does the company do? Let's take Google. Google is enormous, but it's all about technology and bringing that technology into the world so that it can grow exponentially. And they do that with employees. Employees that follow the vision, follow the mission. And those employees have goals that they must meet. A vision statement adds the why and the how to the company. So as a company grows, its objectives and goals may change. Therefore, vision statement should be revised as needed to reflect the changing business and the changing environment, business environment, as the goals are met. This is how companies grow. They reach their goals, and now they set another set of goals. Depending on what's happening in the community and depending on What is it that's going to move us forward? Like the Phoenix National Network has a goal, a vision to be out there and touch as many people as possible. Their mission is to bring in as many people as possible that can help create an environment where business can expand by giving education, just like this conversation I'm having with you. They're giving their education around whatever their business are. So we have people that are in the mortgage world. We have people that are in the real estate world. We have people that we bring in as guests that are in the podcast world. So there are many people here. So if you're having difficulty, perhaps having harmony by being with someone that you love, we actually have someone that we call a love coach. But what are they doing? They're bringing together people so that we can all live in harmony. Now, here's something I believe is critical. Courage. Courage is the key to great leadership. Why? It comes from facing and overcoming fear. Facing and overcoming fear. At the basic definition of a fearless entrepreneur is someone who goes first. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. Courage is about moving forward in spite of the fear. A fearless entrepreneur forges a path, moves along with a path, and inspires people to follow. Courage is to follow one's conviction in the face of criticism. Now, after we've done all this, we have to always remember to be grateful. Grateful for the things that are successful, and yes, grateful for the things that we have difficulty with. Because once we can move past the difficulty, it moves us into success. Because without the difficulty, you can't grow. So to be thankful and ready to show appreciation for a situation or person and to return that with kindness. Without gratitude, we would have no sustained growth. Without gratitude, core teams are ineffective. Without gratitude, culture is impacted and becomes stale and undesirable. With gratitude, innovation and communication increases. Without gratitude, communication and innovation ceases. Leadership is undermined without gratitude. Gratitude is needed for effective personal and business growth. So at all times, be grateful for where you are. Be grateful that you are actually engaged in something many times bigger than yourself. Because that's also part of a fearless entrepreneur. They recognize that in order to succeed, they have to realize there are things that go beyond themselves. And then we come to acceptance. The ability to move forward towards your mission, your vision, and your goals, whether in positive or negative situations, because acceptance is about flexibility. The ability to set a direction, and if something gets in the way, move to the side. You know, it's an interesting thing. The plane takes off from New York and it's going to go to California. You would think that plane goes straight. No, it does not. The plane may go left. It may go right. It may go up. It may go down. But it's heading in the direction of California. So that's what I mean by flexibility. You're going to get there, but you have to know that all times you need to move in a different direction, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't get you to where you want to be. And finally, I put sales. A fearless entrepreneur embraces sales. They don't sit around and say, oh, let me hire a sales director and have them do the sales. No, a fearless entrepreneur embraces sales and they continue to learn how to get a sale, how to bring in a client, how to get a client to be satisfied and to trust what you're doing. See, a fearless entrepreneur are warriors for sales, as they are in business to serve prospects and clients. You can't get prospect and a client unless you sell. You can't sit on the sidelines unless you sell. Because most of the time, the client will want to sit down and talk to the head of production or the head of the department or the president of the company. Why? Because the president can make decisions. Decisions move a business. Decisions move a business. So a sale cannot be closed unless it's open. That's what a sale does. So without sales, the bottom line, company does not exist. You must be always out there speaking about your company, doing in such a way that's engaging people, that people want to be with you. Now that's a real skill, but that's a skill that can be learned. You can learn how to sell. It happens to be one of my fortes, to be able to teach people how to sell. Why? Because a sales represents a company, and sales are the voice of the company, and the voice of the company is you. So those are the 10 essentials for a fearless entrepreneur. I hope you've learned from this. I'm going to stop this share and see what we can create here. It's unfortunate that I don't have any kinds of questions that may come about. If you have any questions, I recommend that you contact me, whether it has to do with the We Rise Again, the tribute to 9/11 and to you, and the 10 essentials of a fearless entrepreneur. What makes a company truly successful? If you follow these, your company will be successful. So again, this is Frank Copolla from the ADD Coaching Group. You can reach me at frank@addcoachinggroup.com. That's 2 G's. As well as if you need to speak to me directly, please notify me via email and I will answer any questions at all. So I want to thank you. Philip, I think we're going to wrap up here. Do you want to play the song one more time?
I've been standing on the corner, waiting for the light to turn green.
Can I go now? Cross over. Will the world stop just for me?
away from all your nasty doubt. The world is starving for your laughter, yearning for your love. Your love, you got to live it like you never lived before. Love it like you want it more and more. Be you, that's what you're here for. You're more than enough, more than enough.
Take one step and another. Nothing's got nothing on you.
Leave all your doubts. You're stronger than those shadows that make you blue. Stand up, you'll be the difference now.